guys, it's your girl Whitspiration, and I'm back with another video. And today it's going to be fairly serious. I'm going to talk about mental health in the Black community, and I really want to focus on my community because I feel like it's very taboo to speak about mental issues, unfortunately, in our community. I've also noticed how much awareness has been happening over the past past 2 years about mental health within the Black community. I've seen celebrities, influencers come out about their mental issues. One in particular, Summer Walker. I know a lot of us remember when she came out about her anxiety and how sometimes she doesn't want to perform, and sometimes she just needs to be by herself and doesn't want to go anywhere. She even canceled her half of her tour due to her anxiety. And a lot of people had two opinions. Some were opposed and some people agree and supportive of her. And I'm just going to talk about that and about why some people are not agreeing with it and why some people are. So I just want to get into the issue as to why it's, not recognized, why mental health is not recognized in the Black community so much. And I just think there's so many Black people that go undiagnosed. There's a lot of us that have mental issues, and a lot of us that struggle with things mentally, and because of our history, because of our backgrounds and the way that we were raised, sometimes those things get in the way in solving and getting help for mental issues. So let's talk about the history of being in denial of a problem or in denial of emotion for Black people. I always say this, I've been saying this in a lot of my videos, is that we have to realize that we were dehumanized in slavery. We were equated to animals, and we were not seen as a human being. So when you take the human out of something, things that aren't human, they don't have emotions, they don't have feelings, they don't have anything. You're just an object or just some type of thing that exists for other people's purposes. You don't exist for yourself. You're not a human. So that means that you don't have feelings, you don't have emotion, you don't get the right to speak up about what's going on with you, because you really don't exist, really. So that is the mindset of slavery. And of course we have feelings, of course we felt things, but I feel like as a community, also in slavery, we were just like, guys, we gotta try. Like, some of us probably felt a different way, but I feel like for the most part, the mindset was like, we gotta toughen up, we gotta harden up, and we gotta just keep it moving. And this is a struggle, but we're gonna make it. But while we're struggling, we can't dwell on those emotions. We can't just sit there and be upset, because we have things greater. We have things that we have to overcome. So we can't worry about our emotions right now. So I like the idea of being strong, but I feel like you can be strong and you also can, you could be strong and you also can let your emotions out. I think letting your emotions out is actually an example of being strong, because you're not letting it control you. But with that being said, that was a mindset in slavery. And we in 2020 now, we're slavery's over and things like that, and we're trying to overcome other things in our community that are problems. But generation after generation, you still keep certain mindsets. That's why we always say racism isn't always over, because our history still follows us, and our history still repeats itself and still does things, and it's still effective in our lives now. So I feel like the mindset of be strong, don't show your emotions, still stands in the Black community. And I really think it's because of our dehumanization past. And, you know, we're trying to get out of that, but it still sticks with us. So I feel like that is in a lot of households. I know my household, I come from a lot of women. My mom and dad were married, so I did have a mom and a dad to look up to, but my mom's an alpha female. My grandma was an alpha female. Like, all my aunts are alpha females, so they're very independent. Like, if they didn't have husbands, they would be able to be good on their own. And my mom, I've yet to see her really cry in front of me. You know, she doesn't really show her emotion that much. And sometimes I don't think she thinks it's necessary to do that. That it's best to show your emotion in private, because you want to maintain a strong interior, because that's what we were always taught. And I just know a lot of households where, like, the grandmoms, the black grandmoms, the black moms are always like, oh girl, I know you're not doing all that crying because you acting like a little white girl, like, you know. And it's just like that, you know, it's funny when they say stuff like that, but it's actually kind of bad, and that's actually not a good thing to say, because you're basically saying that white people are the only people that are allowed to feel. They're the only people that are allowed to have emotions. So, like, I don't think we should tell our young black women, or even our young black men, that they're not allowed to cry, they're not allowed to express their emotion. But like I said, that whole mindset comes from slavery. And then also, I want to come and talk about the fact that slavery, again, being physically, emotionally, mentally, all that abused, having that in our past can actually, like, cause mental issues. I know, I bet that there were so many slaves who suffered from different mental issues because of, and it's the effect of what was going on. So when you were abused in so many ways, every which way, you can develop a mental issue. And I feel like that's another thing that happened in our community. Like, we did develop these mental issues, but then we cover it. And that's why there's people that can come off a little bit bitter, can come off a little bit angry, because we're humans and we have to show our emotions somehow. Like, there's nobody that's emotionless. People that hide emotion, sometimes they're a little bit more hostile. Sometimes they're just, like, you know, not as friendly, but it's because they're trying to internalize that. So that's the other thing. And so, not to get off subject, I'm just saying that, like, the fact that we ignore our emotions as a community is because of slavery. It's because of the emotional abuse and the generation mindset that we had. So what can we do to change this? I feel like what we can start doing is just one easy thing, and that's communication. And if you, like, say if you're a parent, like, I'll do an example. If you're a parent and you see your kid is going into their room every day, going to sleep, you know, they're not really happy, they're not hanging out with their friends, and you're noticing there's just a pattern of this, go into their room and talk to them about it. You know, don't yell at them and tell them, oh, you need to stop doing that, you need to pray, which prayer does work, but it's just like communication does too. Communication and prayer together is amazing. So if your kid is feeling that way, talk to them. And sometimes it's also the reason why this the mental health thing is kind of hard to understand is because a lot of people, we don't have that much knowledge about all these different mental health issues, so we don't understand it, so we're just gonna, like, reject it. And that's not what you should do. Even if you don't understand what the person that you love is going through, you should just have an open mind and communicate with them. Like, what's going on? How did this start? Why do you think you feel this way? What do you think will help you get better? Just communicating with them is the first step to help. Like I said, even if you don't understand, listen to them. Like, have them talk to you about what they're going through. Just listen and try to understand. And if you don't understand, try to get help. And I just also want to know, and I just also want the Black community to know, especially the Black community that is Christian, because I'm Christian, and so I do understand some of your concerns, but I want us to trust professional help. Like, God God bless people to have gifts. God bless people to have gifts to help people that are going through these things. Like, there's people who are gifted with therapy skills, with, you know, counseling skills and stuff like that. It's not for them to just counsel one group of people who think that they have these issues. They're there for everyone who has these issues. And like, God puts people in your life for a reason. God gives people gifts and abilities for a reason. He knows that people struggle with mental issues. So I would really like our Black community and our Black Christian community to trust professional help, because, you know, they're here for a reason. God put them here for a reason. And there's even Christian counselors. There's Christian therapy that you can go to if you feel like you want it to be within your religion. And I just want us as a Black Christian community to trust professional help, to not see it as a bad thing. Because I know a lot of us are always like, oh, you're turning to the doctors, you're turning to this, when you should be turning to God. Like, they think that going to the doctor is denying God, and that's not it, because God put these people on the planet. He put these people here to help us. So just trusting professional help, understanding that therapy is not a lack of trust in God. It's actually a gift from God that He gave us to help. So you can pray and you can go to therapy. It's both of them are not bad things. So that is what I wanted to talk about today, guys. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I really would love to hear your comments and what you thought about it. If you can add anything to the conversation, if you went through mental issues, or if you know someone that in our community that is going through mental issues and is having a hard time getting help or getting people to understand their issue, let me know. I would love to hear what you guys had to say. And also, I'm always open to what other content you guys would like me to post as well. So remember to like and subscribe this video and hit the bell so that you can keep on seeing more videos of me and more topics. And also follow me on Twitter at Whitspiration and on Instagram at Whitspiration. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll be back with more. Bye. And I want to bring up the point of us shutting people down in our community who speak out about mental health. I remember, again, when Summer Walker came out about having anxiety and, you know, canceling her tour or half of her tour. I know immediately everyone got upset. Some people were took sympathy for her because of going through anxiety and commended her for coming out about it. But some people were opposed to it and were saying, like, being a artist, musical artist, being on stage and all that is a given, and you shouldn't be an entertainer if you shouldn't be an entertainer if you have these issues, and you shouldn't be an entertainer if you get anxiety about going on stage. And that isn't true at all. Like, I've seen so many other performers come out about how they have anxiety about going on stage and everything like that. And just because you're gifted in something like music, acting, or something that is an entertainment type of profession doesn't mean you don't struggle with mental issues. So a lot of people were coming at her for that. And also, it's like she was under a microscope after she came out about it, because she would do fun things with her boyfriend on Instagram and post it. Like, she would like twerk on him, and she'd go like to clubs sometimes with him and dance on him and stuff. And people will be in the comments saying, oh, well, you can go to that club and be with your boyfriend, that doesn't seem like anxiety to me. Oh, she's not shy to do twerking and stuff. And it's just like, you guys don't really understand anxiety, because anxiety comes at different times. People have anxiety about specific things. Like, there's some things that I have anxiety about that other people don't have anxiety about, that they think is completely stupid. So it's just like, you can't judge when you don't know. And if someone is speaking out, especially in our community, who we're always told to shut up as Black people, when someone is coming out about a mental issue, you really should respect and listen to what they're trying to say. So, and I feel like the reason why we do tell people shut up, again, as I said, is because of slavery, because we were always told that we weren't allowed to have emotion. And Black women in general, we're always told to be strong, and that we can't cry, and that we can't be emotional, and that things could just keep being thrown at us, and we're just supposed to just, you know, take it like we're bulletproof, and we're not. So I just really think that we need people to be more open-minded and have more knowledge about mental health issues, and not tell people to shut up. When they open up about something, listen to them, even if you don't understand.